Hi guys, welcome back to Roughing with the Sappers. Today we've got an interesting game with a Woodland versus Elk Grove game, U16 Boys. It's been a while. Also, we've got Katie, we've got Scott, and we've got a cat. So,
Nobody likes the cat.
yeah, everybody loves a cat. So with the cat joining us, let's start this game.
For this game, we had the Sapper crew out there. I was your center referee. Katie was the assistant referee on the far side with Elk Grove. Aaron was on the near side on the Woodland sideline. Now, I had also been trying to use the audio recording where I wear a microphone, and unfortunately, I started it for this game, but it only got the first few minutes of it, so we don't have that for this game. Let's go.
Takeover is a strong word, but help.
The first decision of the game was around 3 minutes in, and it's going to be a handball that I called on my side of the field. So the two players are dribbling up, and Black just kicks it into Red's hand outside of the box. It just comes up, hits his hand on the way back, and I end up popping my flag for it because I'm right in front of it.
Also, just want to comment here. Look at Katie, like she is keeping pace with those boys running full speed. You're right on that line and that flag streak down.
I
Very
tried.
nicely done. Nicely done. This is why you're a better AR than I am, or one of the reasons. Yes.
Our next decision is going to be an offside call called by Aaron. So the player's trying to get a shot at, and he passes it to the person right in front. And from this camera angle, it's kind of hard to see, but we judge it to be offside compared to that player, just because the camera angle is like kind of hard to see, but he also looks like he could be offside.
As more proof of how kind of chill this game was to start, it's several more minutes. Now we're in minute 25 before we have our next decision. This black and orange player are going to challenge for it here. First, they start with kind of a fair challenge there. I didn't see anything there that I thought was a foul. But then right here, black just kind of, whether you call it a push or a charge through his back, he just goes through his back. So easy call there and a direct free kick for the orange team. Immediately off the free kick from that last charge, the ball comes down here, and then we'll see it come in. And right there, the keeper kind of gets to it first, and then we have this collision. If I play this back here, right here, if I pause it, we see the keeper actually get to it just a split second before, and then this orange player charges through him. Now, I will say myself, as a center referee, these types of challenges always seem to be what I think are actually the hardest to judge for me because in all honesty, like it's microseconds difference between who fouled who here. Like in this case, the keeper got to the ball first, and so the orange player charging through makes it to where he fouled the keeper. But let's say the orange player had gotten to it just that split second before the keeper does. Well, now this is the keeper fouling the attacker. And I honestly, I find this to be some of the hardest things to call. In this case, I think we got this one right. Now, about 3 minutes later on the far side, we've got a throw in here. The ball's going to come up to this black player who's trying to get a breakaway there. And then orange kind of just clumsily falls down. But in the process, he falls on the back of the calves of this black player and bring him down. It's not intentional, but, it's still a foul.
The next thing that we're going to look at isn't really a decision, it's more going to be AR mechanics for running down during a play. So these two people are going up, and the ball is just like bouncing around and stuff like that. But me on the far side, I'm trying to just follow the ball, and I follow it all the way down to the goal line, which is what you're supposed to do in that situation. But it's just a good example of following the ball.
And well, I'm right here, like the only person who can know did that ball go in before he saved it is you. And if you're not running and following that ball, if you had stopped when maybe I think, some other referees, might get a little bit complacent when that first save happened where you think the keeper's gonna save it and just stop up here close to the 18 and then you have no credibility. So
Yeah.
kudos to you. Very nice.
Mhm.
Several minutes later, we've got our next decision. There's a throw in on the far side. Unfortunately, it's a little bit hard to see here. This ball gets thrown in, and then right there, when it comes right here, it comes up and it actually hits this orange player's hand right there, and it's kind of on the other side of this black player. So you can't really see it there, but the ball drops right at his feet after hitting his right arm, which was kind of out a little bit. So pull that right away and go ahead and give black a direct free kick from there. Few more minutes go by here. Black has added another goal, so they're now winning 2-0. And we've got a throw in, and we're going to see this black player here push orange. And when the throw in happens, he just shoves him right there, just backing this up. I mean, the ball goes past him here. And then as it's going away, he just shoves that kid down. There's just no reason for that shove there, particularly since it was away from the ball. So I felt that was very unsporting. So I end up actually blowing the whistle and then pulling out a yellow card and carding him right away. I did not want that type of thing to be happening in the game. So coming up on halftime, we've got a hold just outside of the penalty area here. So the ball is coming down, and we're going to see this black player and orange player here. And then as it plays there, we see orange trying to get the ball, and black is just holding on to him. So right about here, orange tries to step out and go get it. And you can see he has a little bit of trouble going forward. That's because black had his arms wrapped around him, was kind of holding him at the waist. So a little bit hard to see from this camera angle, but I had a good, nice view of it there. So I did see that it was not inside the penalty box, so we give them a direct free kick just on the outside of the penalty box.
And with that final call, we end the half.
So it's a pretty low key first half with only 9 decisions, but it gets a little bit more lively in the second half. Let's get it going. Couple minutes into the second half here, we've got the ball coming up to this orange player. Black's going to come in from behind and challenge him here. Right here, we're going to see orange fall down, and you see that I wave it off. But if we go back and play it in slow motion, what we see is that this black defender, he reaches his foot out and he actually gets that ball before orange gets there. And then orange kind of trips himself over that leg that had just kicked the ball. So really, I think, it's a good challenge by the defender there, and ended up taking the ball away.
I concur.
So a couple minutes later, we've got a situation that happens sometimes in these youth games that where the referee kind of isn't sure which decision to make. It's almost like both players foul, so you decide to let it play. We'll see here, this ball's kind of bouncing around. There's a little bit of a bump there. I didn't think that was a foul, but then right there, they both kick up high, right? So maybe Black's foot gets there a little bit first, but look at how even their feet are. Their feet are both exactly the same height. If you start to say this is playing in a dangerous manner with a high kick, then I'm left with well, who do I call it on? So this is one where I chose to let it play, but it is funny when you listen to the audio here, you can hear the coaches on this side and even the player, I think, also say, "Hey, where's the high kick?" Yeah, and then you see me just wave it off. No, we're playing. But yeah, it's like, hey, if I call a high kick there, who do you want me to give it to? If I give it to orange, black team's probably upset. If I give it to black, orange team's upset.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, let's just play on.
Only around 30 seconds later, we've got a charge near my side of the field. So the player throws it in, but the black player just rams into the orange player right there, gets him kind of like also has like some push extension. And so I think that that is definitely a foul on the field. And we
Another minute later, we've got a call that I actually think I got incorrect here. So these 3 players here are going to be challenging for this ball. And then as it comes through here, orange kind of clumsily starts to go down. Like here, nobody's even touched him. And then he kind of runs himself into the back of this black defender here. But
his face got smushed into his
honestly,
butt.
yeah, honestly, when I was looking here, I thought this player here had more momentum, and I thought he went into him, which is why he fell there. But looking from this camera angle, actually, I don't think that's right. I think that's really kind of clumsy by the orange player, and
Yeah.
I maybe just didn't have the best angle on it.
I'm like, can we get a replay real quick? Wait, slow motion. Slow mo it. He just fell into my man's butt. Got a taste.
Several minutes go by, and then we've got a really hard foul here that at the moment in the field, I gave a yellow card, but in my mind, I was really wondering if this is an orange or red card here. So let's watch it. Ball's coming up here, and then right there, this orange player comes through and gets black. He goes down really hard. I immediately run in. I give the yellow card to this player. I also talk to him a little bit there. I end up immediately turning around. I see he's injured pretty badly, so I wave on the coach. I think as they were dealing with this, I went over and I talked to Katie and said, "Hey, I'm kind of thinking about a red card there, and maybe I shouldn't have gone yellow." I think at the time you agreed that
Yeah.
it was yellow. But let's go back and let's watch this in slow motion. So right here, this ball is through and it's away now. And now this orange player has his leg out straight. Now he hasn't left the ground. He hasn't launched himself in the air, but he did come in with pretty good speed and that leg is out straight and his cleats get this player above the ankle, high up into the shin. That's a very, very dangerous play.
Yeah. And with the consideration on whether it be one for a card and then what kind of card, there's mainly four things that we look at. One is the point of contact. So, where did the people make contact on the field? What was the mode of contact? So, with what like body part did it hit the other player? And in this instance, it's cleats. So that's like really high on the spectrum of just badness, I guess. Three is at what speed does this player come in? And the fourth is how far away is the ball from this altercation? So, based on this, the point of contact is above the ankle. The mode of contact is the cleats, which is really bad. The speed of which the player is, like, he was coming in really, really fast to get that ball. And then the fourth point is that the ball is already like a yard away when he actually makes contact. So, based on this information, I think that this would have been better served to go as a red card instead of a yellow card. Though, albeit on the field, no one was complaining about it being a yellow card on the field. People were happy with the yellow card. But at the same time, based on the stuff that we've already gone through, I think it would have been better served to go with the red card, especially at this age level.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments what you think here. We're going to take a deduction here for not going red. I mean, honestly, looking at this in slow motion, at the time, I remember feeling it was very, very orange. Ended up going yellow, but I really feel like this probably should have been red. So let us know in the comments, though, what do you think? But we're going to call this, it'll be per the rules of the channel, this will be three decisions, one for the foul, one for is it a card or not, and two, what color card is it? It'll be three decisions, but one deduction because, man, this really looks like a red card. So 2 minutes go by here, and now we've got the ball bouncing around, and right here, this player comes in, does a challenge that comes in with his cleats up, leg out straight again. Now, he gets the ball here, which is why I end up making this a no call. But this is one of those, if he mistimes that and he doesn't get that ball and he gets that player's leg, this is, potentially another red card
Yeah.
possibility.
He went in hella
He did. He was fast. Lucky for him, microseconds between red card or a good clean tackle.
Mm-hmm.
About 7 minutes go by, and then we've got a throw in down near Katie, and there's a handball that I call on the attacking team. So here the ball gets thrown in, this player kicks it up, and then it hits his hands. Now, if you go back and you watch, I think it's episode 29, I did a deep dive into why sometimes it's not a handball if you play it off of a legal playing surface and up to your hand. And at first, this kind of looks like, hey, maybe that meets that criteria because he kicks it up right there and then it goes to his hand. But it goes to his right hand here. And then off of his right hand, it goes over to his left hand and hits that hand. So the reason I called this is one, it was pretty blatant how it hit and then came down, and then it allowed him to gain possession there. But two, it was, I think the first one off the foot to the hand, you could, basically on what we found in episode 29, you could say not a handball. But then off of that hand and to the other hand, it was, for me, it was just a bridge too far. So I called it here as a handball, gave the direct free kick to Black coming out. And heading into the 74th minute, and this game is still a 2-1 game, so really close, getting really competitive here in the final minutes. We've got a play here where this black and orange player are going up to challenge for it, and then they bump there. And in all honesty, I saw the contact, I thought it was fair at first, but then I see how this player actually goes down. And then I kind of replayed that in my mind, and I realized that this black player, when he came in, kind of had his knee out some. So had he kind of just jumped straight up, it'd have been fine. But I end up kind of, seeing how that player goes down and processing and kind of replaying it and end up calling that back for a direct free kick for the orange team, kind of piecing together what happened there. And I think that's the right call. About a minute later, we've got black kind of coming out here to get this ball, and then orange challenges for it. And you see black go down, but the ball also squirts out that way. So what I saw was this orange player, he got his toe in and managed to toe poke it. And yes, he kind of clipped black on the ankle there in the process, but I didn't think it was unfair contact. I think this one could go either way, but I don't think it's wrong to make it a no call there. So Orange did get the ball, and I didn't really see a foul afterwards, so we're going to call that a right call. So continuing on with the lively final minutes of this game, we've got a play here that sometimes happens, and Black kind of falls down trying to catch himself. He touches the ball with his hand. So let's watch here. Right there, he falls. He just slips on the turf. And then when he comes down, his hand is just trying to catch himself, and he does end up touching the ball. The laws of the game, though, say you can actually, if you're just trying to catch yourself from falling on the ground, that's a natural thing that you would do using your arms to keep from falling, right?
Like, who
And
really face plants into the ground in that scenario?
I
I
know,
have broken a wrist doing exactly that.
right?
Don't even try.
So the laws of the game say that's not a handball. Now, there were some people who were screaming on that sideline. You can see this, a spectator over here. He's got his hands up. They're looking for the handball, blah blah, right? But yeah, I think that's 100% the right call there, and just one of those nuances of the handball rules. Another minute goes by, and now we've got one of the more interesting calls of this game. So, Orange is on the attack, and remember, they're down by 1 goal, so they're really trying to get the equalizer, and Black is trying to stop them. So, this player's got possession of it, and this Black player comes behind him and just shoves him to the ground. And when we look at this, like, he's got possession of that ball there. He's going to goal. He does have this defender. Maybe this defender could get in there, but he's definitely got this defender. So it's not DOGSO, but I viewed that as stopping a promising attack for sure. So I give him the yellow card. I
You can
immediately
see
can.
me calling for
Yeah,
it.
you called for it too. I run down, I give him the yellow card. Now, I use the Ref 6 app on my Apple Watch, and so I start to put that in, and it will tell me if, if it's a second yellow in this case. These orange players are coming in, and they're trying to say, that's a second yellow. And I'm just like, dude, give me a second to put it in. I got it. I got it. If it's a second yellow, I'll have it for sure. Sure enough, I get it. Yeah, pull out the red card for the second yellow. And he totally knew, he knew what he was doing there. And he knew it was final minutes of the game, and he was trying to just stop them from getting that equalizer. So good tactical foul on his part. Unfortunate for him, it was his second of the match, so he gets to go home. Okay, in the 80th minute of this game, Orange is still down 2-1, trying to get an equalizer here, and they've got a good chance here on a corner. And we've got what was a controversial call in the game. But the corner's going to come in here, and then right here, I see the keeper goes up. Keeper gets both hands on the ball, but then this orange player jumps into that keeper's space, knocks the keeper down, and the ball ends up going into the goal. And then you see me immediately, like I'm already doing like the helicopter, no goal, no goal, no goal. And then I point this direction. Now, I will say I'm trying to signal it's a direct kick for the black team, for the defending team. But I felt a little bit awkward in this moment because actually, if it was a goal, the mechanics are exactly the same. The mechanics are you would turn, you would, with your arm out, you would signal to the center circle. So I actually took the video of this and I sent it to a couple of mentors and I said, look, assume that the keeper was fouled here and you're just trying to give the direct free kick. So what's the best mechanic? Because I felt like it was confusing. And what they suggested was, okay, doing the helicopter at first was good, saying no goal, no goal. But instead of just pointing with the straight arm for the direction of the kick, which also looks like the goal, do this with my arm. So basically, that way I'm signaling it's going this way, it's going this way. So that's something I learned from this one and wish I had done slightly differently. But, watching the video here, I'm still convinced that the keeper was fouled. I think it's a good wave off of the goal. Okay, so now we're in extra time. I did add 2 extra minutes in this game, something that I later regretted once I remembered exactly how little time Woodland gives between their games here. But it was really competitive, very, very close, 1 goal differential game. And again, Orange is on the attack here. The ball is coming up here, and then I'm going to play it slow motion here. This orange player jumps up and heads it there. This black player had jumped, I thought, pretty well straight up. He might have come a little bit into him, but he's just a bigger guy. And then Orange falls down there, and they wanted a kick there. Of course, they want the PK because that would give them the chance to tie it up. If we just watch this in slow motion, I think just Seven's just a bigger player. And you even watch their body language, nobody's truly screaming for it other than some parents who don't really know. In our final call of this match, we've got another stopping a promising attack that resulted in a yellow card here. So Black is attacking here. Final kind of minute of the extra time, and we're going to see him. He kind of rounds a corner, gets a flick up there, and then this orange player shoves him when he realizes he got by him. At that point, the only real defenders are the goalkeeper and this player. And so if he gets by there, that is straight into the goal. So with kind of one defender maybe has a chance. So felt that was stopping a promising attack. And I come over and I immediately give this player his yellow card for that. And that ended up wrapping up at least our decisions in this game.
That was the end of the game. It was a really interesting match overall. It got heated in the second half, and it was really hot on the field. It got heated on the field. With that turf, not that fun. And Woodland, put more time in between games. I shame you. We were 5 minutes into the next game when we ended this game. Put more time. But with that rant aside, we have 26 decisions and 2 deductions, so that gives us a final Sapper score of 92.3%. So this was a pretty good game, bordering on great. Only like 3% away.
Yeah, let's go.
I think that we did pretty well in this, other than, the heat and in that almost red card. But
And the coach for the Woodland team, we don't ref a lot for Woodland, though I kind of like their fields and everything here. But the coach for the Woodland team actually came up to us afterwards and he's like, "Oh, really enjoyed having you guys out here. How do we request you guys again?" Which is something you don't hear very often from a team where you gave a red card to their players, right? So that gave, that's a good feeling. So, yeah.
you don't hear that often. Usually they're just screaming and going, "How do I not get them on my team?"
Right.
But so see us next week for another game review or Sapper Short. This is Katie.
I'm Scott.
And we'll see you out
on
on the pitch. Also, we have no cat but blooper time, and it's only like 6:51, 7 o'clock. But I'm going to bed. It's been a long day.
Mama's tired. You're not bringing a cat, are you?
I'm here.
Bro. Bruh. Nobody even likes the cats.
I love her.
Comment
No
if
one
you like
likes
the
her because
cats.
everyone loves her.
No, nobody likes her. You just put cat butt in my face.
Good. Need to check my math grade real quick. I don't know why math teachers take so long to grade stuff because there's only one correct answer to stuff. We turned in our stuff a week ago. How do you not grade it already? There's only one right thing, and you only
Look at all the cat hair. Oh my goodness.
two.
She's licking my hand.
Then move your hand. I don't know what to tell you. It's nasty. Give me a second.
Is that cat butt stuff?
Yeah. Cat's leaving a recording booth, guys.
She just wiped her butt on your shorts. Mm-hmm.
You know what's weird about guys basketball?
No.
They're always like holding on to each other's butts when like they're in defense. Like whenever they're in defense, they'll like be behind and then they'll like be like going like this on their butt, and then sometimes they add like a squeeze to it too.
It's like what I do to your mom. Video.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.